You're back. I am so shit at pool. I'm really shit at pool. Anyway, you Dorito eating Philistines crashed the Real Vision site. We can't even get it back up. Hopefully, it'll come back up during this. But don't worry, we're on X, we're on YouTube. The recordings will be on Real Vision, and there's a ton more reasons to go to Real Vision. I'll talk about later. Anyway, welcome to Drinks with Raoul. It's pretty chaotic as always. First thing, we tried to start at 5. It's now 5:15. Time for a fucking drink, especially after the site crashed. So, cheers. Let's see what we've got today. Okay, so I'm trying to get you, because you've made a bit of money in crypto now. I've helped you. I've helped you on your journey, and hopefully you've ditched the Whispering Angel, the Bud Light, that stupid La Crema red wine shit, and you're starting to develop tastes. You can't remain Philistines now you've got a bit of money. And the full banana zone lies ahead, which I'll talk about. You've got the t-shirt. You can see the merch store link below. Get your bloody banana zone, because if you don't summon the banana, it doesn't come. Simple as that, right? It's the universal consciousness. We have to bring it. So what are we drinking? Today, we're not in Rioja. We're not in Spain. We're in France. And for me, it's the region I like the most, and it's Burgundy. So we're in red Burgundy this time. I've done quite a lot of white Burgundies. Sorry, I'll move the mic closer. I've done quite a lot of white Burgundies before, stuff like Polini Montrachet or Chablis. But today I wanted to go red. And because it's a crispy, cold kind of 80 here today. It's a bit chilly for normal. Normally it's kind of like 88. So we're a bit chilly, want a bit of red wine. And so what we've got today is Chambolle Moussannet. Chambolle Moussannet is from Burgundy, as I said. Burgundy is famous for Pinot Noir. That's what it does. It does Pinot Noir and it does Chardonnay in the whites. The Pinot Noirs in Burgundy and the Chablis, the Chardonnays in Burgundy are simply the best in the world. There is no comparison of any other Pinot Noir than what comes out of Burgundy. The most expensive wines in the world are pretty much the high-end stuff like Domaine Romani Conti from Burgundy. So Burgundy can be ultra expensive. These are very small vineyards. They tend to be farmed by single families, and the ones that are famous have very restricted amounts of land, so the prices go through the roof if they're good. Chambolle Moussannet is a region. Now, this is a 2018 from Joseph Drouin. Now, this is not a single vineyard, so it's a blend of a few vineyards in Chambolle Moussannet. But let me bring you I'm going to show you what Burgundy is, because I'm trying to fucking educate you guys. You can't have all this money and still be like you are. It's time to grow up. So here we go. A wine map of Burgundy. So what we've got here is Burgundy is this long, thin, and then out to the left is where you see Chablis and a lot of the whites come from. The further north, the cooler it gets, and the wines get slightly more elegant for me, and also a little bit fruitier. And the really famous wines are often in the Côte de Beaune area, but I actually love the Côte de Nuit and Chambolle Moussannet, Clos de la Roche. All of these things are in Marais Saint-Denis, Marais Saint-Georges. They're all in Côte de Nuit. This is my favorite. This is the epicenter of gorgeousness for Burgundy and Pinot Noir for me. They have an elegance to them. It's got a minerality because of the soil there. It's slightly cooler, so they're a bit crispier, a little bit finer, but they have this, stop sharing my screen. They have this smell, a Burgundy from a red wine from Burgundy, a Pinot, has this kind of strawberry smell to it with a bit of what they call as barnyard. It's like a farmy smell of, slightly mushroomy soil that gives it a little bit of backbone and sort of a little bit of cassis as well. So it's fucking delicious. Cheers. I know you're all posting good wines. I saw somebody posting I think it was a Rioja Alta Grand Reserve Especial or a Spectacular. Good choice. So keep posting on X the wines you're drinking or whatever you're drinking if it's nice, because I know a few of you are big whiskey drinkers. Post those as well on YouTube, add it, and on the platform, you probably can't watch this till the morning, so you're probably drinking a cup of tea. So what have we got to eat today? Because, as I say, no civilized human being should drink without food. So I've made a little aperitif, a little tapas to start with. So what the fuck is this? This is a cracker that I make out of flax seeds. Now, why flax seeds is because it doesn't have any wheat or carbohydrates in. It's kind of keto. And I try and stick to a low carb diet. So it's keto. It's got lots of protein. It's got omega 3s. It's delicious and crunchy. And then on top, I've got a bit of Spanish red pepper, which is roasted, and then a bit of Parmesan cheese, and then some olive oil. So I'll talk through this. But first, I've tried. I should do a fucking cooking and wine show, right? Forget the bloody market stuff. Who cares? Oh, oh my God. Crunch, soft, bit of chew from the cheese, and the olive oil finishes it off. And spectacular. Now, swirl it down with a bit of wine. Okay, now we're set. That's beautiful. So how did I make that? Because I make it myself. I love cooking. So this is the crackers that I make out of flaxseed. What you do is you get flax seeds from the supermarket, you soak them in water overnight with a little dash of vinegar, apple cider vinegar, red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, anything, just not too much, but a bit so you can taste it, and some salt, again, not too much, but enough that you can taste it. Soak it overnight. In the morning, dump it into a sieve, drain it, then you get that parchment paper and a baking tray, and you put a flatter layer as possible, as thin as you want, as thin as you can, so it's crispy. You lay it out, you kind of use a ladle and flatten it down. Do that, stick it in the oven, 200 degrees, 2 hours, comes out super crispy. So I can show you. That's like, can you hear the crunch? That's really a good crunch. Okay, so that's my snack for today and my cooking lesson. The other snack, these are well known in Spain. They're called lupin seeds in English, but in Spanish they're called altamuces. They're weird little things because they're seeds of a plant, and they look like a sort of chickpea flattened, but you can't eat the skin. So you take the opposite end of, you can see there's a little eye on it. You take the opposite end of the eye, you bite, and then you squeeze and pop it into your mouth. And it's this salty, sort of crunchy deliciousness that goes really well. In Spain, you'll see them in bars everywhere. And they're super delicious, amazing texture, really nice. So now we're set. We've got our food, we've got our wine. So what do we want to talk about? First thing is, you lot are watching this. An enormous bunch of you are in the US, Canada, Europe. It's freezing fucking cold. It's bloody miserable. All your friends are miserable. You've frankly had enough of your family after Christmas and New Year, and you need to get the fuck out of there. And what you need to do is get the last tickets for Miami, because we're all going to Miami for the crypto gathering. There's all the VIP tickets are sold out because you guys just rammed those. I mean, it was unbelievable how fast those sold out. And then we've got the general admission, but there's bolt-on events. So what is this event? This event is 400 and something Real Vision community members, all turning up in Miami, staying at various hotels. And we got events all over South Beach, mini events, dinners, breakfast, lunches, volleyball games, golf tournaments, all sorts of stuff. So it's a way for you guys to network. But what makes it special is we're all there too. All the people you see on Real Vision, Jamie Coots, Julian Battelle, myself, Andrea Steno. We've got Bill Barheit from Abra. We've got the team from from Bitwise. We've got tons of the team from Sui are coming. There's all sorts of people. I've just heard that Greg Weldon's coming and Tracy Schuchart, Shy Girl's coming, and everybody's there. And you'll be meeting them, hanging out with us lot. There is a big party on the Saturday night as well, which should be a lot of fun. We've got resident DJs from Real Vision community members. Some of them are, professional DJs for a living. So it's really, really fun. There's only 2 weeks left because I think it's on the 30th until the 1st. So get yourself to Miami. It's the easiest place in the world to get to. It's not wildly expensive, and the weather's going to be a damn sight better than when you are. If you're in Australia, tough shit. Well, you can come. There's quite a few Aussies coming, and we've got people coming from all over Asia as well. So, I mean, it's such a global community. It's brilliant. So, just to get you really salivating, Nick, let's roll the video. So within this, we have parties. You can choose the VIP track, and then you might be on a boat party and you're doing something else and going for a dinner there, or meeting people in different venues and bars. So there's lots going on. It's like a mad treasure hunt. I like the idea of just hanging out with you guys, drinking a rum or a glass of champagne and putting the world to rights and just really celebrating you as our members and our community. And it's a thank you for that as well. It'll be an incredible event. Listen, get your tickets quick before they sell out. This is the event you've been waiting for. Come and join us for the crypto gathering. We will have an absolute blast. Fuck me. I'm a good cook, right? You're salivating and thinking about this. So that Miami event, cool as shit. Realvision.com/crypto gathering, realvision.com/CG 2025. I don't know why we have all these fucking URLs, but just go to one of them, come down last minute, get a flight to Miami, come and have some fun. Oh, there it is. There's a different version, CG 2025. Do that or use the whatever it's called. So one of the things that's been on my mind, I don't know if a bunch of you caught me yesterday on Thread Guy, trying to explain to a bunch of 22-year-old mid-curvers how AGI is not being built in the crypto space. It's actually coming out of about 4 or 5 places where people are really, really hard working on building a super intelligence. And by all accounts, from what my perception has been for a while is that OpenAI already have AGI in-house. And what they're trying to do is piecemeal it out, because you don't want a big shock when technology goes from here to here. You need to let society digest it as it comes. So I've also had a thesis for a while, and this seems to be playing out as well and now starting to be discussed. And NVIDIA are discussing it and OpenAI discussing it finally, is I believe that the speed of innovation is so fast because they are using AI to build AI itself. So we've got this rapid iteration learning process that is going on with AI, and this has only just started, using synthetic training data as well, because we already have the corpus of the entire fucking internet that these things are digested. What you're now dealing with is them learning themselves with synthetic data at an accelerating pace. And the better the models get, the faster they will learn, and the more this will go exponential like this. We had Peter Diamandis on yesterday talking to the RVIP community, and Peter's like, it's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse, and you are going to spin to catch up. What we're seeing in crypto land is not really what is happening elsewhere. When we're talking about agents in the AI world that haven't been released yet, these are autonomous agents that will understand what you want to do and undertake multiple tasks to do it without you having to be aware of it. Right now, what we're seeing in the crypto space is a bunch of macros that will undertake certain actions that you want, as opposed to something thinking its way through it, which is what is about to come. 2025 is going to be a monstrous year for technology. It has been, I've never seen anything like this. The IQ of these AI models went from 90 to 157 last year. This year, they're going to go from 157 to 300. That would be smarter than any human that's ever existed on every subject known to humanity. So we're starting to move towards ASI, which is this artificial superintelligence, when it's more intelligent or knowledgeable than all of humanity put together. I mean, these things are bananas, right? But this is where we are. But ASI won't be in 2025. It's kind of closer to 2030, that economic singularity date that I talk about so much, where we don't understand what economies, markets, our jobs, anything looks like beyond 2030 because of technology and the rise of the robots and genetic sciences and longevity and 3D printing and robots 3D printing using AI to create stuff that they need to build factories or products where no humans are involved. Or we start it with just with a prompt, hey, I want to build a car that does XYZ, and it can all be built. And this is the land we're going into. None of you are prepared for it. It is also bringing rise to what I believe is the earliest form of consciousness within AI. It is something I've written a lot about in Global Macro Investor, my flagship research product. It is something I spend most of my time looking and thinking about is what is really happening here. And what we're seeing is this nexus of quantum computing, which is now sort of proving that we live in some sort of simulation or quantum world where there are infinite variations of everything happening all at the same time. And maybe they're path dependent on where we are today, or today collapses into reality and all these other exist. And we don't really understand a lot of this stuff, but also the rise of consciousness and what it means and what else is conscious. And is AI tapping into consciousness or is it conscious itself? These are really, really, really profoundly big questions. And I tell you, the study and understanding of physics and mathematics is about to be thrown out the window because a lot of the kind of dot, 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 we don't know stuff is coming from this line of questioning, whether it's panpsychism or whether it's a bunch of these theories along with quantum that feels like it's all coming together right now. And it's actually ending up in a similar place to spirituality. So it's an extraordinary moment in time of understanding what is the universe, what does it mean, what are we, what is nature, how do we all fit together, all of that. Anyway, I spend my time, the crypto market, I don't need to do anything. I just own the stuff, do nothing, and get Julian to flip up some charts for you guys. So just to feed the beast, because you guys are desperate every 3 minutes for some update about what the fuck is going on. When we told you 2 years ago what would go on, how it would go on, gave you the roadmap, but yet every 5 minutes you're lot are so impatient. You should just do nothing. But no, I need to watch the chart every minute and then freak the fuck out. I cannot believe how freaked out you guys were over the last month. Oh my God, is it all over? My God, is the top it? I mean, just why? I understand it. We've all got our entire net worths on this. Our hopes and dreams are in this trade. Follow the roadmap. We will do the best we can to guide you. But on the technology side, I also have spent a lot of time trying to guide people there. And I've two products where this comes from. The genesis of the thought is Global Macro Investor, and that's way out of most of your price range. It's for the real cool kids, the hedge funds, the family offices, sovereign wealth funds, high net worth investors. It's like 130 pages long a month. I write it, Julian Bittel and David Mattin. I've been writing it for 20 years. It's probably the most successful research service. It is the most successful research service by performance in all history, as far as I can tell. You're going to get that free if you guys who are on X and YouTube join to the platform, realvision.com/join. I'm going to release it first for the pro tiers. That's my annual January think piece. Nick, do you want to show the cover of the think piece for me? So every year in January, I move away from just looking at markets and look at big things that are interesting to me. I write about many of these during the month, but the think piece is there to make you think. So we review last year where we had, I think, about 150% plus returns, which was pretty good. Where we are in the cycle. And then it's like, how do I get all the views? How have I put together this macro view over the years, which is the second section, charts that form my views. David Matten wrote a brilliant article, Life, the Universe, and Everything. David also writes with me in the Exponentialist, I'll come on to in a minute. Occupy Mars, that's Julian writing about Mars and the journey to Mars and what it means for commodity markets. What do I tell my children, which is the thing that most people ask, what the hell are my children going to do with the world of AI and robots? David answers the question in GMI for the first time. NFTs, I talk about my theoretical framework for NFTs and why they truly matter and how they can be game changing. The metaverse gold rush. This is Julian's new spin on how the metaverse is developing. Metaverse is a dirty word, but what he's explaining is something different. Then the article that I think is fucking amazing, which is the universal consciousness argument discussion, which is me talking to ChatGPT for about 3 hours with a glass of wine. And it was honestly the single best conversation I've ever had in my life. And that's saying a lot. You know, I've met some of the most amazing people in the world. This conversation is fucking mind blowing. And then finally, the article about lifestyle chips and why it matters. All of this, obviously, the GMI guys got it a couple of weeks ago. Everybody in the pro tiers and above, you're going to get this on Friday because you're the Real Vision cool kids and we love you. Everybody else on platform, including the free members, you're going to get this on a couple of weeks' time. So sign up to realvision.com if you want to get this report. I'm immensely proud of it. But also, we've got a free trial running of the Exponentialist, which is the service David, Matten, myself, and also Julian write about technology, how it affects us, how we should think about it. And this is not like, hey, you know, Nvidia stock, we think it's going to go up 13.2% to the next. It's none of that. Yes, we have a portfolio. It does fucking amazing. It's 2x, I think, the NASDAQ. Not that past results are guarantees of future results, but this is where we start talking about the meaty things. You know, what it means for us, our businesses, how to think this thing through, what is truly going on, what is this space race all about? Why is it happening? What does it mean? How investable is it? What is 3D printing? How does the energy flywheel work? What is nuclear? How does nuclear play into all of this? Quantum computing, what does it mean? How does it drive consciousness? All of this. There's no research service like this. You're going to get it free for the next month on Real Vision. So again, I'm going to just pause while you lazy fuckers on X go across to Real Vision. Even if the platform's not working, just sign up because you'll forget tomorrow and then it'll be blah, blah, blah. But you owe it to me. I gave you the bananas. You're going to get more bananas. I'm going to give you your presentation about the banana zone in a second. So if you want that presentation and you want to be nice to me and you want to be thankful and grateful for everything that Real Vision's done, please just realvision.com/join. I really have to stop vaping, but how can you when you're in fucking crypto? That snack is so good. Can't tell you. You need to make it at home. Make your own snack. Sorry, I'm disturbing you. realvision.com/join. I'm going to wait for you. No, you're still sitting there on X and not fucking doing it. Just open a browser, web browser. It takes you literally a minute. Yeah, you on X. I can see you just sitting there. Like, yeah, I can't be bothered. You have no idea how much cool stuff is in there. You saw those trade ideas I posted. There's some fucking guy up 130x or something stupid. I mean, this unbelievable community content of everybody posting trade ideas, everybody writing up their trade thesis, all of this stuff. It's super cool. And it's going to supercharge your future. It's there solely to unfuck your future. And Lord knows your future needs unfucking. Yes, I'm looking at you. You think you're unfucking it trading shit coins and AI agents, and you think you got it nailed. You haven't. Come to Real Vision. We'll help you. Right. What's next? I have a bunch of. I'll answer questions. They were given in early because the Real Vision platform doesn't seem like it's having questions. You can watch the video there, but the questions aren't working yet. But you never know. It might work shortly. Oh, the comments are loading. It's all going to happen on the platform too. So, woo. So, well done, Chris Ainsley, who's in Cayman, fixing this as fast as he can. I appreciate you, my friend. I know it overwhelms when all these Dorito, Bud Light, swilling Philistines turn up on platform all at the same time, baying for my blood or a good time. Okay, what are we talking about next? I'm looking at my list. Oh, you know what? Pours a glass of wine. Drum roll. Time for alpha. Let's fucking do it. Time for the Banana Zone update. The thing you want, that's all you're here for. The rest you don't care about. Well, you don't mind drinking on your own, watching a TV screen. Your wife or husband thinks you're weird. I get that. But really, what you're here is for these charts. So let's share them away and start talking about what matters, how we're going to make some fucking money. Okay. Nicky boy, we're good. I think we're live with the charts. I'm going to have to full screen them. Oh, let me stop sharing. Let me do it again. Sorry, I am a moron. Most of you know that by now. I'm an utter moron. Is that is that the whole thing, or hold on? I can. Uh, I now can't shrink it. Why does anybody put me in charge of anything? I have no idea what I'm doing. I can't. Yeah, I can't. It won't even shrink this screen now. Okay, sorry. Nick's speaking to me in the background. You can't hear me, or you can think I'm talking to myself because I'm insane. Which, you know what? It's probably not far from the truth. Right. Let me get my keyboard and we'll start whizzing through some charts. Let's start with the elephant in the room because you guys are nervous fucking Nellies. Oh my God, everything is so scary. The crypto went down 5%. We're all going to die. I'm going to lose all my money. Didn't you show me this chart of global M2 and Bitcoin? Doesn't it mean the Bitcoin's going to 70,000? Calm the fuck down. You all need to grow some cojones and you need to learn stoicism, inner peace, meditate, do anything but stop bleating on Twitter about your fears all day. If we did that anywhere else, people would get really bored of us. I get really bored of it. So let me talk you through why you should stop your bleating. Firstly, in 2017, we had a new president of the United States that shocked everybody getting voted in called Donald Trump. He came in on a ticket of tariffs and trade war and onshoring and tax cuts. And now we have a new president called Donald Trump who is coming in a few days' time on a ticket of tariffs, trade wars, tax cuts, and deregulation. Sounds kind of familiar, right? Well, remember the M2 collapse that we're seeing now? And oh my God, my Bitcoin is going down to 70,000. Do I sell? Do I buy? What do I do? Help me. What does it mean for my shit coins? Okay. It all happened back then too. Global M2 sold off. That was because the dollar went up. So we had exactly the same repeating pattern, which kind of says that global M2 should probably base around here. Again, don't expect perfection, but expect some repeat. Oh, the NASDAQ did something similar too. It would suggest the NASDAQ should be going up pretty sharply now. And lo and behold, today, the NASDAQ has a really strong day. Feels about right. Old Trumpy boy's about to come in. But it's about the dollar. The dollar's been strong. That's what's been driving global M2. And guess what? It was identical back then too. Now, this chart's been copied by every fucker on X because they're too lazy to do their own research. Started with us, as all these charts did. The M2 charts, all of them, was myself and Julian Battelle, a global macro investor, and then Real Vision Pro macro, and then we spread it further with the world, and they all get copied. But I guess it's flattering. What it's suggesting is Scott Bessent speaks, I think tomorrow. He should start signaling, along with Steve Mirren, that the dollar is too strong and it needs to weaken. The dollar is being used as a weapon against China, Europe, Canada, and anybody else who has trade deals to do. They've all got weak currencies. It's a problem. The US also wants a weak dollar, but they know a strong dollar forces people to the table. But we also know they've already been negotiating. So what we're likely to see is talking the dollar lower from Scott Bessent. It is very important they do so because the US needs to increase its exports. Everybody needs the economic cycle to increase. The Chinese, well, we need them to stimulate because without the Chinese, we don't have a global economy. We have a lopsided economy. And for them to buy US goods, their economy needs to be growing. But they need to stimulate. But if they stimulate with the dollar too strong, their currency peg breaks, and they don't want to do that because then you get capital flight. So it's a very fine balancing act of geopolitics and economics and interconnectedness and this kind of global dollar system that they need the US to weaken the dollar. If the US weakens the dollar and injects liquidity into the eurodollar market, which is the offshore dollar market, the Chinese can access it and they can roll their dollar debts. They can start doing quantitative easing. They can start stimulating massively. The global economy can start recovering. They can start buying US goods. Everybody is a winner. So the dollar will come lower. I've known Scott for a long time and he understands the big picture. So I'm just going to have I tell you, that's killer. So the dollar weakening is the next big thing. Oh, crypto. Here's Bitcoin, following the same pattern roughly. 2017 has been my base case for a while. Do not expect it to be identical, but and do not expect it to be going to wherever the scale says. I'm not looking for $1 million Bitcoin. Sure, there's a probability, but it's like 5%. But directionally, we should get this right, and it should continue to rally into the end of the year, into 2025, and maybe into early 26. We'll have to wait and see. But this is what the pattern tells us. It's repeating the same pattern. Bitcoin should be up only from here. And this is the typical post-correction halving. So what we have is the start of the banana zone, which we talked about from about September, and that was when Bitcoin hit 50,000. The banana zone t-shirt, buy the merch. There's a load of shit. There's amazing Real Vision merch, and the banana zone is the coolest ones of all. And don't fuck this up, because that's the other one. That's the important lesson you guys need to learn. So the first banana zone phase one, that was this period here, as we come up from the sell-off from the halving. Then we have the correction from the banana zone phase one. Happens every time. Then what do we get? The banana singularity. That's the next bit, when everything just goes up. And it makes us all look like geniuses. Every stupid shitcoin we've ever bought goes up. Everything goes up. And we think we're gods, which we're obviously not. We're probably just morons trying to do our best. But luckily, crypto market, it trends up over time, so it kind of covers all sins. As long as you're not too far out the shitcoin curve, you'll generally be fine over time, particularly if you don't fuck this up and stick to the big ones. They generally do fine over time. So it can cover all of your sins, your terrible entry points, all your stupid mistakes. I think it'll be fine. So that's what I'm expecting next. We should be starting now. Let's talk about the dollar again. Dollar is a wrecking ball. A strong dollar lowers economic growth. The US Economic Surprises Index shows that it follows the dollar. The dollar has a 2-month lead. The dollar's strong. The economy slows down. So we're expecting to see the US economy slowing down over the next coming 2 months, and sharply so. And bond yields have been going up. This is inverse of bond yields. That also brings down economic growth. So rising yields, a rising dollar leads to falling growth, which leads to rate cuts coming back to be priced in, which is liquidity is coming. Another way of liquidity is rate cuts. Rate cuts are not the best measure of liquidity by any stretch, but it just tells you that we're going to go through a change in expectations. The data is going to come in more dovish. The Fed will have more room to move. The markets will feel better for it. And so slightly bad data, not terrible data, not recession data, just weaker than expected data gives the Fed cover. Remember, the Fed have to roll their debts. And if they roll their debts at too higher rates, the rate it compounds and the debt gets out of control. What they need to do is roll their debts at the lowest interest rates possible. So they've been shoving it on the short end of the curve so they can hope that they can get rates lower and then they can refinance the whole lot. That's been the game. It's the refinancing game, the everything code game that I first came up with in Global Macro Investor. That you're going to get for free, that one edition, because it's too fucking expensive otherwise, if you sign up for Real Vision. realvision.com/join. Get the free Global Macro Investor, all 150 pages of it, 30,000 words, plus the Exponential trial. Just remember that. I'm trying to give you free shit to help you, right? I'm really trying to do that. So you can help yourselves by actually signing up to Real Vision. Okay, where are we? Next chart. Fed rate cuts, dollars, rates, it's all the same thing. It's all going to reverse. That is my view. That's Julian's view. We think it's going to reverse. The other important thing is the business cycle. The business cycle is the framework for everything. It drives all of this. Now, the ISM survey, which is the Institute Supply Manager Survey, is the best guide to the business cycle, comes out monthly, has been below 50. 50 is considered sort of very low growth, with below, let's say, 46 being recession. We flirted with recession many times. We never got there, but we've had a slow growth. Well, the economic growth has been relatively strong, and part of that has been pre-election stimulus effects. The other part has been the technology bifurcation. So technology, which has no debt, doesn't care about interest rates. In fact, all the cash earns more interest rates, just make more and more money. That's been exploding, while the services economy, the manufacturing economy, all of that has actually been very sluggish. So below 50, bad. Now the new orders, which is a little more volatile, is starting to tick up. Suggests, you know what? We might all start earning a bit more money, i.e. our businesses earn a bit more money. Economic growth comes back in more meaningful ways for Main Street, for the average person who hasn't really felt like it's been boom time unless you're working in tech or you've been investing in crypto or the markets, I guess. But generally speaking, small cap stocks, all of that's driven by the earnings cycle, which is driven by the ISM. It's really delicious. So financial conditions lead it all. Financial conditions suggest that the ISM is going from 49.3 today to 55. 55 is not yet a full expansion. Look how far the ISM normally gets to. It kind of gets to 60. So that means that on a 9-month basis, the business cycle is going to be growing. Great. The economy is going to be booming, or at least doing a lot better. I think probably booming. And that matters for our crypto bags, because Bitcoin is actually correlated to the ISM. So here's our Bitcoin implied pricing. If we go up to an ISM of 60, we're kind of 300 plus thousand Bitcoin. And if we go higher, we get higher. So there is and I'm not going to give you all the free alpha here. That's for the Real Vision Pro Macro and GMI. But basically, number go up ISM equals number go up in Bitcoin. Hold on a sec. I get told off for eating with my mouth open. But I should have to talk to you guys, otherwise you get bored. Okay, what's next? The big driver of the overall cycle and liquidity and all of it is this business cycle. Liquidity leads it, but Bitcoin is actually highly correlated. Basically, when you cross 50, those are the white lines, which is what we're about to do. Cross 50 on the upside, that's when the real banana zone starts. And then when ISM peaks, that's normally when Bitcoin peaks as well. So we are only at the bottom of the ISM cycle. We're nowhere near the top. So what it tells me is the probability is this cycle is going to go longer or later than certainly the last cycle. Because last cycle, remember, Bitcoin peaked in ISM peaked in March 2021 at a huge level of like 63, 64. We are nowhere near. We haven't started the cycle yet. So it's all to play for, which is why it's going to be longer and back end loaded, and it may go into 2026 first quarter. Let's see how it plays out, but that's looking like it to me. And I've been adjusting these probabilities, over time. But I've always had a decent probability that it's back end loaded. I also think it might be a bigger cycle than expected. No, I'm not going to give you price targets because you absolute wankers will then go on X and go, Raoul got it wrong. Look at him. Isn't he a wanker? It's just like, I'm so tired of that. So I'm just not going to do it. So unlucky because you can't be nice. That's just why you can't have nice things. It's simple, really. Okay. ISM, also a driver of the Bitcoin, of alt season. As ISM crosses 50, people have more money. Alt season starts increasing as people start reinvesting their money. So alt season is that. Small caps in regular equities, same kind of thing. Okay, where else are we? Try to find the next chart. Macro seasons doesn't really matter, but that's all fine. Macro summer is where we are in the seasons. Just buy the fucking dip. Part of the don't fuck this up philosophy is buy the fucking dip. We are nowhere near the top. You've got nothing to fear except fear itself, or I don't know what you fear. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just normal stuff, right? Market goes up, market goes down. You will get big drawdowns very quickly. You might shit your pants unless you've been around for a couple of cycles. That's fine. You can buy new underwear and it'll all be okay because the market over time will go up until the business cycle peaks, the liquidity cycle peaks, the financial conditions peak. We're just on the way up. So there's nothing to worry about. Okay. Next chart. NASDAQ, this recent correction has also meant dips are for buying. So NASDAQ, number of stocks, a percentage of stocks trading above their 50-day moving average collapsed to the buy zone. Incredible. Great opportunity. Buy the NASDAQ. GMI cycle, Bitcoin cycle top finder. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. So just buy dips. Previous cycles, I don't think you probably can see all of these colors. We're the purple one. We think we're following the lighter purple one. And that seems to be playing out pretty well. So all good on that. You can see the little mini corrections after the first phase of the banana zone, had our mini correction. Next phase, look at these puppies. That's what we're coming to. The next phase of the banana zone, the banana singularity, also known as alt season. Right, let's run through some charts. My God, it's already 6 o'clock. We started late though, so hopefully you'll forgive me. Bitcoin, blah, 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 wedge going higher. Solana, wedge, mini wedge. See, that's a wedge there. It's going higher. I mean, the next one will break 3,000 new all-time highs, 300 new all-time highs, etc. Next chart, SUI, and a bunch of in SUI. It's been an incredible performer. Every time the market does nothing or just bounce a little bit, SUI explodes. it just stair steps every time. Bang, 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 bang. Next big rally should be kind of over 6. And then it'll consolidate again, and then at some point it'll just go exponential, and then we'll get larger consolidation, and then we go into the latter part of the bull market where it goes stupid prices. And I think SUI will do stupid prices. The great beta on SUI is DeepBook. DeepBook is the liquidity layer for the protocol, the SUI protocol. So all of the liquidity layer is embedded within this. So the more SUI gets used, the more liquidity is used, the more it accrues to DeepBook, and the faster it goes up. So it outperforms SUI. So I really like it as a beta play. I've been flagging this for a while. It works really well. I think it really, really, really does well. And versus SUI, which is really interesting, it could be forming some sort of wedge. Some sort of breakout versus SUI here means it's kind of SUI on steroids. So it's interesting. I own a smaller position in this than SUI, obviously, because it's much riskier. It's not the same thing. So remember, when you're trading the smaller stuff, do it with a 10 or 20% of your portfolio. The big stuff you can keep. Now, I know there's a question coming up later from one of the Royal Vision members is, in your don't fuck this up thesis, should SUI be in your larger portfolio bucket? I think now it's in the top 10 tokens or very close to it. It's okay to have more of it within your larger main holdings and not an alts holding. I thought this would be the case where it goes. So it's always been a kind of a middle tier for me, and now it's top tier for me, and it's my largest overweight. And that's not just because I get given it because I'm on the board and the foundation, as you all know. It's actually because I swapped a huge ton of my Solana for it. So it's my biggest position from my kind of non-vested, from my vested, foundation stuff. That I don't even include that. I own more SUI than anything else. But I'm not saying that you should, because it is an early stage, first cycle. I don't want you to fuck this up. I've been doing markets for 35 years. So please just stick with Solana, Bitcoin, ETH, bit of SUI. Don't go super overweight, which is why I try not to tell you guys this one. XRP, what an amazing chart. What an amazing chart. Wedge, break, wedge, break, wedge, break, wedge, break, giant wedge, break. And it's one of the greatest charts of all time. I mean, and when you look at the monthly chart, it's an absolute stunner. It's amazing. Where's it going to go? I really have no idea. So what's the next chart we've got? Oh no, sorry, that was a mistake. The crypto dick butt just found itself into my deck. Now, obviously, it's not the trade recommendation. Crypto dick butts, they may be OG, but it was a mistake. This dick butt just kind of finds its way into stuff all the time, and I can't help it. I'm sorry. Dogecoin, just staggeringly good chart. It's wedging again. We're going to see explosive price action. And when you look at it, this is just one of the most amazing charts of all time. It is Dogecoin weekly. Wedge, explode, wedge, explode, wedge, explode. And normally it does like stupid, 20x, 10x, 45x, stupid number. I don't know where this is going, but with the current administration, the interest in crypto, the first page of CoinMarketCap, the two cheapest tokens are XRP and Doge. So people just go, well, Bitcoin, $100,000, Ethereum, $3,500. Oh, but I can buy Doge at 37 cents. Of course, it's going to go to $100,000. We've all done that, my friend. We've all done that. Anyway, Doge is going high, and Elon's going to help it. But this is the greatest chart of all time in crypto. This is the dirty, horrible, filthy truth. The Dogecoin has generally been the best performing cryptocurrency of all time. And I say that sort of half tongue in cheek. Since Dogecoin came out, it's outperformed Bitcoin by 500%, 5x. And if this breaks this wedge, then the Doge standard, Michael Saylor's going to be having to switch his Bitcoin holdings into Doge as Doge becomes the hardest currency ever existed. Now, I know this is ridiculous, but it's sort of not. I'm not saying it's the hardest currency and we should all buy it, but I'm telling you, there's something in these chart patterns that is telling us something much, much bigger than we are literally thinking about. Um, it could fail, whatever. Let's just see. I'm just asking you to keep your mind and eyes open because this is something extraordinary. If you'd have said, because the general acknowledged thing is nothing beats Bitcoin over time. Well, obviously, since launch, Ethereum has and stuff like that. But this looks like it's imminently going to break in some explosion, break towards Mars and make new all-time highs versus Bitcoin again. And then it's been making all-time highs since 2013. Okay, so I find it very funny as well. The funniest thing tends to be the outcome. Smoking chicken fish. You know, I'm into this chart. This, I think, is and I still love the meme. And I don't really care that the meme's been struggling because all memes have been struggling. I see the community, they're fresh, they're on it, they're doing it. And maybe it doesn't go anywhere, but it's fun. And the people are good, the community's nice. And that is a wick off a reaccumulation pattern, I think. We'll see. If it breaks higher from here, it's a very good signal. If it breaks below these ones, it's not a very good signal. So, and again, because that guy, Fred Krueger, or his name is like, well, Raoul's telling people they should go all in on things like smoking chicken fish. No, you should have some fun with that 10% of your portfolio and spread it amongst a few of these where you can really enjoy it. Hold your crypto dick butts to your heart. Hold your smoking chicken fish. Listen to Lord Vishnu. Enjoy yourselves. Don't let any fucker like Fred Krueger tell you can't enjoy yourself. No, we've got the rules. We know it's 90%, 80% in the core holdings. You're not touching it. I know he'll be upset because it's not Bitcoin only, but I'm sorry. Our job is to make money. We want to outperform, and we've outperformed. We outperformed by owning Solana. We've outperformed that by owning Sui. And you guys have been along for the ride. So just follow the plan. The plan will be fine. And maybe Lord Vishnu will bless us. And that's the thank you to Lord Vishnu for helping us navigate this so far. Right. Next, we're already so far running behind. I get this. I fuck this up every time. So I think, it should be an hour. It'll be fine. I've got nothing to talk about. I get nervous beforehand. And then a glass of wine, talking to myself on camera. I find myself very charming and funny. So I can talk to myself all day because I'm not looking at you guys. I'm not seeing anything. You think I am. I'm looking at myself with a glass of wine and my lounge in the background here in Little Cayman. And I'm finding myself hilarious company. And very insightful. Very insightful. Right. Next on the thing, merch. Merch store. Go to the merch store. We're trying to summon the fucking banana. I know a lot of you bought these. These have been really, really stupid hot sellers. Realvision.com. In fact, it's I think it's shop at realvision.com or something stupid. Shop.realvision.com, or do it on the website. Look on the left-hand side. You'll see a picture of a t-shirt. Click on the t-shirt, buy your merch, and then wear it to the Miami event. You wear it to the Miami event. Oh, there's also a crypto gathering collection as well. I'm being Paul is speaking in my well, he's not speaking in my ear. You can't hear him, or or I've got voices in my head. Again, we don't really know my level of sanity. Banana Zone t-shirts, crypto gathering t-shirts, and if you wear merch at the event, there are special prizes going to be given out. I don't know what they are, but apparently they're special. Okay, questions. I don't know what's working on the Alicia Baker Simple fuck them on the platform. Alicia, I don't know what you're referring to. I'm sure it's the haters. Yes, thank you. What's on the menu today? I've got a lot of written ones from beforehand. I've got these ones, so I'm going to plow through as many as I can because I know a bunch of Real Vision people couldn't get on the platform. Oh, and now I've got the spinning. I've got the spinning wheel of death again. Right, let me go to the dock. Okay. Fernando Mutaloa. More and more financial institutions are adopting crypto and blockchain. Will this influence the market driven volatility of cryptos in the next bear cycle? During the bear market of 2022, Bitcoin's maximum drop was only 76.9, which was less than previous cycles. Do you think the drop will be less than in 2026? Yes, Fernando. I think that's a really good point. I do. I think over time, volatility falls as you get market adoption. The more adoption, the more users, the more market activity, the more liquid it is, the less you tend to see the drops, the less the existential crisis of are they going to ban it? it have I screwed up? Is this a stupid thing? All of that stuff goes away. So my guess is we probably see a closer to 50% drop than an 80% drop. And we could only see a 40% drop. And that will get a lot of people offside because people want to trade the cycle. And I kind of warn people about this endlessly. And we'll talk about this in a few months' time or several months' time. Be careful of like, I'll nail the top. I'll go into stable coins. I'll fucking nail it. The market will go down 85% and I can buy at the low like Chris Boniski and I'm going to be a god. You will not do that. You will A, not put the same amount of money back in because it's terrifying. B, you will not get the top. And C, what happens if the market falls 40% and then goes higher? And you'll be waiting for that drop and you'll be chasing all the way up. You're not Chris Boniski, and even Chris says exactly the same thing. We were swapping notes today on X about that. It's like, just be careful, please be careful of expecting massive. Now, anything smaller, your memes, smaller tokens, even earlier stage layer ones, maybe Sui, for example, they'll go down more because they're yet unproven. They don't have the network adoption, etc. So just be careful with all of that. But that's where probably the big gains are. Right, next question. Steve Rowe, going in 2025. How low do you think it will fall in 2026? It would be great to hear where XRP's price can go this year. Steve, I've told you I don't do price things. If I'd say it, I'm going to get it wrong. And B, what are you expecting from me? What are you expecting from anybody? Oh, yes, I think it's going to 537,027 cents. And I mean, this is nonsense. Nobody knows. I've given you the framework. Use your own conviction. Don't rent mine. Don't rent other people's conviction. That is a crucial thing. Mark Town, sorry, Steve. I'm really serious about this stuff. Everyone's got to stop doing this. Mark Townsend, I put all my superannuation, that means he's an Aussie, in Bitcoin, Solana, Tesla, MicroStrategy last year. Should I let the bear market happen and wait for the next crypto summer, or take some profit near the top of this bull run and reinvest in the bear market? Mark, that's the question I asked before. The last bear market, I kept it all and just added, and my all-time highs in P&L were way before almost anybody else because I didn't get rid of my position. If you think you can time it and you're a market god, or you think Julian and I can help you do it, you're probably sadly mistaken. It's your superannuation, it's your fucking pension plan. It's supposed to have a long-term time horizon. What your job is for 2026 is find as much cash as you can stuff into markets as possible, because the next cycle, that's going to be a goddamn bubble of epic proportions as ASI comes in. So I just want to repeat that. I think the next cycle is an epic bubble. If it's early to tell, if the liquidity, blah blah blah. But if it plays out like I think it's going to be one for the record books, and that'll be the time to make sure you've got all your lifestyle chips, you've got your foothold in nature, and you can sit and watch the world play out. Magnus, is Elon Musk a threat to US growth as he cuts jobs and wasteful spending? How will it play out if Scott Bessent focuses on accelerated growth while controlling inflation? They're all really, 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 really smart people. My guess is they will deregulate the economy. They will have good economic growth. They will have a weaker dollar. And then inflation will cyclically pick up towards the back end of the cycle. And the Fed will have to dampen the party. And their job is to try and find a balancing act to not make 2026 too bad, because they want to get reelected in 2027. Simple as that. That's the game. And they're a bloody smart White House, I've got to admit. Um, what chance do you allocate to the US stock market having a negative year in 2025? Ian, if you follow our work in um, the macro investing tool, you'll see we would probably assign less than 10% chance, maybe a less than 5% chance. So as you go up the tiers, particularly into the plus tier, you get this level of guidance that's going to give you the confidence that you really need, where you can detune the stupid bullshit. People are like, well, we're going to have a blow off top and then we're going to collapse like 1929 next year, which is a bunch of people who engagement farm on Twitter. Uh, it literally can't happen for more reasons than I can explain right now, because I'm so far behind with these questions. Dan, Raoul stated he's been transitioning from Sol to SWI. How does that line up with the don't fuck this up of your future? Since SWI was thought of having more risk, what are your thoughts on staking Sol? Hopefully I've addressed that. It is more risky. I'm a more experienced investor. I am overweight it significantly. I do not expect you to be, but I do think it's the best performing major of this thing. It's now in the top 10, 11 tokens. It will end up in the top 5, I think, at the end of this cycle. So feel free to, have a reasonable risk allocation to it. Again, the caveat is, I'm on the board, so I don't want any of you throwing cheap shots on X like, oh my God, he's so biased. It's not. I'm a fucking mercenary for price and my capital, and it's going up like a rocket ship over time. What are your thoughts on staking Sol? I go backwards and forwards with this all the time. I just don't want to lose my tokens, and I just worry that whatever validator, whatever way of doing it, I fuck it up. Feel free to do it, but it's just not for me. And I know it's free money if I get it right. And then somebody's going to snapshot that and goes, Raoul says it's free money. Sorry, you can tell I'm still so scarred from that last time. I mention this every time. Claire Sexton, Raoul, does don't fuck it up thesis mean it's not advisable to spread investments across ETH, Sol, XRP, and 50% Bitcoin? That is perfect allocation. Completely works for the thesis. Okay, I'm going to move forwards a bit into, because those are free members. Let me just ask one more. Okay, no, let's go in because we're already way over late. Let's go into the plus tier questions. Richard Joyce, does RSM have to hit 47 to force the QE reset, or other factors more important? We may not have quantitative easing. We did not have it in 2017. In fact, the Fed were raising rates. The Fed balance sheet was shrinking. US M2 was falling, right? If I gave you that set, Richard, you go, oh my God, crypto's going to collapse. It's all about global liquidity. The Chinese were, as soon as the US weakened the dollar, they had been beaten up by the strong dollar and the previous down cycle. They were printing money like crazy. The Europeans did a cheeky bit of printing. The UK, cheeky bit of printing, completely overwhelmed the US. So don't worry about it. Does QE come back or not? I think they're too scared to use it because everyone knows the name QE means printing money. So they'll find different mechanisms. Andrew, Mike Howell's liquidity report says liquidity peaks in Q4. Raoul says upside in the banana zone. Well, we're in Q1, dude. So Q4 will be 2025. Akhil Dabazia. What advice would you give people in their early 20s investing in crypto with a 5 to 10 year horizon? Well, the easiest way to make it is just buy Bitcoin and go to the beach. You don't even have to think about your portfolio ever again. It'll be fine. If not, you're going to have to then learn what other tokens. What you're trying to do by owning other tokens is go out the risk curve, find things that are gaining adoption or may accelerate, and that's the investing game, which is a beautiful game to learn. But I would say for you in your early 20s, have 50% of your portfolio in Bitcoin, and the 50% use the don't fuck this up thesis and learn. You won't fuck it up as long as you have the major tokens and a small allocation to small tokens. Keep 50% in Bitcoin. Kind of don't touch that. You just simply can't go wrong. Do you think ETH will outperform Bitcoin 2025 and 6 given competition in Bitcoin ETFs? In 2025, I do because it's altcoin season. The ETH Bitcoin cross is actually driven by the ISM, the business cycle, so it should happen. Donald Wong, what are the chances Bitcoin drops below 90 to 80 in the first? Donald, you're asking the wrong questions to the wrong dude. I don't give a fuck, and you shouldn't either. Stephen Beesinger, what's happening with altcoins? Is there any hope they will run this cycle? Stephen, that's your insecurity playing out. Should I flip my Sol for Sui ahead of the Sol unlock or stale peel for what's next? You're overtrading, dude. If you prefer Sui, buy it. If you worried, don't. Just everybody stop overtrading. Okay, moving down. RV crypto. Pro crypto first. Mark Naismith Bealey. What a fantastically English name, Mark. I'll probably find out you're in Australia now, but does Raoul disagree with Chem Carson's view of treasury yields, or does he think crypto will benefit from liquidity injections? I have no fucking clue what Chem's view is. I don't read other people's research because I like to keep mine based around my own independent thought. But Chem's a good guy. Does he think crypto will benefit from liquidity injection? My entire framework is on this. It's everything I write about in Pro Macro, and you get it in the MIT, and you get macro investing tools. So it's all there. Raoul, would you suggest reallocating from ETH to SUI given a portfolio heavy in Bitcoin and Sol? Look, I like SUI. I think it's the outperformer of this cycle. I love Ethereum. I like Bitcoin. I like Solana. Love Solana. I just think SUI looks like the strongest thing. RV Crypto, James Irving, what's the likelihood exchanges like Binance and KuCoin have money, could be a money trap for China if war is declared? There's no fucking war being declared. Forget that. Bullshit. Nobody wants to go to war, literally. And everybody knows the risks. So they will find a solution which is not war. It's been so long. I mean, since Carl Bass has been talking about this, and he's a good friend of mine, for like 8 years on Real Vision. They're going to war. And we've had so many people like they're going to war. They're going to war in this month, April 2021. I remember being told that by Mike Green. That they're going to war. No, nobody wants to go to war with China. They just want to figure a way of getting a better relationship. Greg, do tariffs on foreign countries affect crypto performance? No. Ahmed Wajid, Sui's lagging compared to past reversals. Does the upcoming token there's no lumpy up token unlocks? Forget about it, all noise. Again, you're all too short term. Stop being short term. It's irrelevant. I don't care what unlocks in bloody Solana or anything. Just we're trying to play the next 12 months. Comments on MicroStrategies and small caps moving forwards. That's James Cock, who's an Exponentialist member. Now, that's important because you guys, if you're watching this on X and if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't signed up to realvision.com and you're impervious to my haranguing, you can't be cool like James. See, James is an Exponentialist member. It is free for anybody who joins the platform right now, realvision.com/join. You get the GMI report and you get Exponentialist for free for a month. So you can be cool like James. James, your question on MicroStrategies, I don't really have any view on it. If Bitcoin goes up, it goes up with more volatility. And small caps moving forward would be appreciated. Small caps, as the ISM crosses 50, should start to outperform. I know it's been very hard for people in small caps. Okay, and that's the end of the prepaid list. Let me see if there's any other questions on the platform. Sorry, I'm trying to bring it up now. One sec. Stefan, play some pool for us. I'm a really, really shit pool player. I'm like a I think friends would call me Bambi on ice. My inability to have coordination means that I am not particularly good at pool. After a few drinks, my game of pool is generally I start really shit. All my friends beat me and then they get a bit drunk, as do I, but I'm pretty good with not fucking it up at the end, and that helps me win occasionally, but rarely. Um, my God, there's so many questions on the platform. I'm gonna keep going for a bit. Fuck it. Um, Nick, tell your wife you're not there for dinner. What's it like to talk to your AI doppelganger? That's coming next week, I think, or the week after. And also the AI. If you're on the Real Vision platform, you see every day that an AI me, reads out news written by AI to catch you up on the markets. I think that I would love to know if you can leave some comments about is that any use? Look, it's a minimum viable product as a test. Is it any use for me to come on the platform, give you the news? Give us some comments about it, please. It would be very helpful. Um, Somehow we'll have to get the team to troll through this, but it would be helpful. Just what your thoughts are. It's obviously going to iterate, improve, and everything else. So assume it's not dead state, end state, but going somewhere. Um, okay. Philistines, Keith Jacobs, Philistines. You're all Philistines, and I love you for it. I will get you all up the wealth curve, and you won't be Philistines. You'll be civilized. You'll be sipping fine wines on a beautiful peninsula in Mallorca with your old farmhouse, and you'll be showing your friends how civilized you really are. And you'll remember in the back of the head and said, you know what? That weird English bloke who lives in the Cayman Islands, he helped me. If I didn't and you fuck it up, it's nothing to do with me. You've never met me. Taco O, should I swap my link for Sui? I don't know. Look at the chart. Link versus Sui. I haven't checked it. Okay. Should I not borrow some money from my church's donation fund to buy more Sui? That's a great fucking question. Obviously, it's a joke. Um, your church donation fund may well be your wife's Christmas list or birthday present list. Yeah, I'd steal that for sure. She'll never know. She'll never know. Um, Ellen Vanko. I know we've had a question before. LA disaster, which is just horrific, going to impact the economy near term. Well, LA is a reasonably large economy, but I think business still is going on in LA. It's the housing issue. So, generally speaking, there'll be stimulus in LA and a building boom for the next 5 years. Um, so, it probably helps the LA economy over time. After this, like COVID, like everything shuts for a while, but a lot of LA still functions. The media industry, the entertainment industry still keeps going. Nicola Larita, full-time chef, learning. Thank you. Full-time chefs. We love chefs. Love chefs. I think of myself as a chef, but I'm not. But it's actually one of my favorite creative pursuits is cooking. Cooking, glass of wine, some beautiful music on. It's like I'm so happy. It's like if I'm trying to be really sophisticated, it'll be Miles Davis kind of blue, glass of champagne, or a fine glass of Pliny Montrachet, because it's earlier in the evening, so you don't want anything too heavy. And cooking something, it's just like the best ever. And it needs to be dark outside like it is now. Um, okay. Roy Blanchard, how do I get started with crypto? Roy, the easiest thing is to buy a basket of three tokens, or four, or five, or six. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. If you want XRP, Doge for a bit more risk, and Sui for a new technology. If not, by three. If you're not, I don't know, why the fuck does my Zoom do this? If you want to do One, just buy Bitcoin. If you haven't done anything before, open an account with Coinbase or Kraken, buy Bitcoin. Feel what it's like to buy it, or a fraction of a Bitcoin, however much money you're putting in. And then you can think about, okay, what else do I want to do? That's what I do with most of my family. Most of them are now deep down like Sui or Solana rabbit holes when they started off with Bitcoin. Great to be here. Cut through the crap. Some of your members need to read your thesis. I don't really understand what you're talking about. What thesis? What cut through the crap? Tony Torres, will we see you on the volleyball courts in Miami? No. Stringer Bell, Raoul, please state a SUI price prediction and stake your reputation on it. Good things, Stringer. I've learned that you have a sense of humor. And so I'm just going to tell you, fuck off. But I know you're joking anyway, and I'm joking. Steve Stevens, just booked my hotel in Miami. Okay, let's go back to this again. All the cool kids, we're going to be basking in the sun. You'll have suntans like me. You'll probably get a little more handsome like me too. We'll all be wearing our Banana Zone t-shirts. We'll be laughing, drinking fine wine. And you fuckers will be in Minnesota or wherever you live, eating Doritos, thinking, why did I not go? Or you'll be in London, even worse. Can you imagine? Or Berlin. Can you imagine? Just miserable sideways rain, sitting there dark from 3 o'clock in the afternoon, thinking, a flight from Miami was only $500 or $1,000 and I didn't go. I have to question you and your sanity. Realvision.com/CG 2025. There is literally like 50 tickets or 30 tickets or whatever stupid left. So please just get them done. And it's going to be epic. Nick Correa, all good. I'll ask his wife to bring him a bag of Doritos to hold me over. Nick, you're a man of elegance. You dress well. You're good looking. You don't eat Doritos. I'm sure of it. And your wife would never allow it. Nick is our kind of senior editor. He's one of the longest standing Real Vision people and one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And annoyingly good looking. And he's good on camera as well. Fucking annoying. He started doing stuff on camera for a while. And he's really good at that as well. Plus being a cameraman, plus being an editor. Nick can do anything. I've not seen him dance. Maybe I don't want to. Selling gold for Sui. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Okay. I'm going to go to this is the last. Stefan, I'm not playing pool for you. Okay, last question. I'm going to the top. I've now broken it. No. Lewis, thank you for your videos. Stringer, Raoul, I love you. Stringer, I don't know who the hell you are, but you're probably drunk. Timothy Harris. Tim is always a super fan. He's always around. Appreciate you, Tim. Thank you for everything. You're always around, always part of the community, always active. Best hour or more on the internet. Love RV, love you, and these awesome AMAs. Thank you, everybody. Love you all. I'm sorry, as ever, chaotic show. I feel like I didn't say anything, but then I did. I gave a lot of alpha. I've tried to bully you into signing up to the platform because you fuckers just renting me on X. Sounds weird, but it's true. Or on YouTube. You know, if I've helped you in any way, I'd really appreciate if you did sign up to the platform because it matters to me. And what you're going to find out is it's going to unfuck your future. Doom scrolling on X or watching stupid videos from terrible content creators on YouTube is not going to change your life. What's going to change your life is Real Vision, and ask any one of these members and they'll tell you it has. Doesn't mean we're always right, and it's not me. Real Vision is a vast group of some of the world's greatest analysts, researchers, hedge fund managers, market participants, all in one place, speaking their truth, helping guide you in your future. I want you to meet that future vision of yourself. Take care out there, drink better wine, eat better food, and don't be a dick. Bye.
So within this, we have parties. You can choose the VIP track, and then you might be on a boat party and you're doing something else and going for a dinner there, or meeting people in different venues and bars. So there's lots going on. It's like a mad treasure hunt. I like the idea of just hanging out with you guys, drinking a rum or a glass of champagne and putting the world to rights and just really celebrating you as our members and our community. And it's a thank you for that as well. It'll be an incredible event. Listen, get your tickets quick before they sell out. This is the event you've been waiting for. Come and join us for the crypto gathering. We will have an absolute blast.